They're like, yeah, we need you to take home samples on Fridays. They're like, make sure you try them and make sure you take home different ones every time. So I was like, do that.
Wait, was it you that doesn't like them?
What, the sours?
Yeah. I love them.
I like them, but they give me heartburn like almost instantly. So
Okay, yeah, that's
yeah,
I remember reading
but
some of the shit on it.
yeah, but they get like they don't just get sours; they get like all kinds of different beers. So.
Dude, I love sours. Yes. I can't find anywhere that sells them, but well, I live in Duval, so I mean that's pretty normal. You know, there's not a lot of people that would want them out there. Really? Oh, okay. Word. Shit. Definitely.
Check, 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 check. Yeah, I can see it right there. So we good.
What's it called?
Yo, yo, yo. Check 1 2. Is that gonna be? If you want that closer, like the yellow, anyways, right? Yo, yo, yo. Check. Hey, yeah. Yeah, you should actually. There's like a gain, just like. Yeah, yeah. So. There's like a high, it's like a plug-in. Me though. Check 1 2. Yo. Hey, hey, yeah. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Oh, interesting. Check 1 2. Hey, yeah. Show what? Check, 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 check. This thing clips really fast, really. Yo, 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 yo. I don't know. Why is that not going now? Check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey, hey, hey. What's going on? Yeah, it's weird. Check. Check 1 2. Check. 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 Fuck. Yo, 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 yo. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hey, hey. What have you done? Check 1 2. Yeah, hold on. I just like lost my speaker. It's powered on. My XLR cable is going to this. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check 1 2 here. I mean, like maybe it's not loud enough. Check 1 2. No. Literally, what the fuck? Check, 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 check. Yeah, you can hear like. Check 1 2. 1 2. Hey, yo, yo, yo. What is going on? Check 1 2. Let's fucking. No, that's good though. As long as there's audio there. I'm just worried about there's no audio. Yo, 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 yo. Check 1 2. Hey, hey, yeah. Check. how people like can stand where they need to. Is that why? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, is there a button?
If you take
for this one, and we can
this
do
out,
line
try
out
it
of
again.
that.
No. Okay. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So what is that? Is that the new one?
So that's the audio that's coming from him right now.
Oh well.
So
And
let's just
in
run
theory,
with that. Yeah. In theory, we shouldn't have to talk over. That's fine for now. Weird. This is. This seems like it would just route the audio.
why is his thing so quiet then? How do we adjust his? How do we adjust his thing to be louder?
Is this? No, that's phone gain. I'm not.
No, that's the output to my speaker. But how can we make his from his computer?
Yeah. Go ahead. Got it. Good work. The only saving grace here is that everything that runs the stream is on battery.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
All right, let's take out all the 2.1 real quick. Just
All right.
fucking.
I'm good myself. Personally.
Yeah, my shit's on. Yes. Yeah, let's try it again.
Should be.
There's like 4 things onto that now.
No sound?
Let me check this. I hope so. Check your
There we go.
Yeah, the orange like sweater.
What else can we take off there? Is there anything? What is this thing?
That
Is that your
is
stream deck or is that a?
that's this screen. This screen. You can take it off of there.
Do that for a quick second.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Let's see if this helps.
Yeah, for sure.
I like had in
I'm
that
not really
moment
sure
like
when
like
the
the only
time
thing
is,
that's
so
different
kinda
is that I
just
like turned off the
waiting
low
until
pass
someone's
and like
like,
brought in
"Alright."
like
I'm just
every,
making sure I don't
all the
fall,
frequencies
but I
from
also
80 and
want to
under,
get a listen and be like
and that makes it take a little bit more
Yep.
juice. So
Yeah.
I was like, I've turned my high pass back on again, and I think that that might.
Got it.
We're like clearly like just surfing the danger zone.
Man,
It's my favorite.
as far as I'm concerned, again, like everything that runs the live stream is on battery, so I'm chilling. You should be fine. We can control you over here.
Well, I'm trying to keep it the same, so it's only a button click difference
Okay,
between that
cool.
and the vocal mic. Does that make
Got it.
sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, nothing should happen. There's no reason that it should pop now. How's it on gasoline, by the way, man?
shit. Okay, all right. Love you, Yishai. Thanks for giving us a challenge. Fucking hell.
I'm still surprised that it's having any problems. How much?
How much could it even use?
I don't know
Like,
anything
I'm not
about
even.
panels apparently, man. I don't know nothing.
So at 8 panels is 1,000 watts. At 15, so that's like just under 2,000.
Yeah, man. My shit's 800.
There's like no way that we're using it. Well,
Because we're close to 3,000.
was it in eco the whole time?
Yes.
Well, that's probably, yeah. Yeah, that's probably it.
I don't know. If it's coming out of 3 of those, it's technically tighter, but now they're lower to the ground and not going nearly as far. Yeah. Now that guy's in charge and with sound. So I'm fucking getting fucking. Now I'm looking
Oh, are they
a dick.
linked? Got it. Yeah, they're nasty links.
Oh yeah, don't fucking.
It's nasty links. Turn down one of them, bro.
This is why. Let me see that phone of yours, bud. Let me see that phone. Can I see your phone?
What's that?
Let me see your phone. I want to look at the app.
So,
I only got like 2%.
is that one just overdrawing
Does it
or
turn off
something?
when it hits 2%?
No. It stays on the exact same settings.
Okay. So with that buzz, is that a gain in the unit? I think that Rob is going to check, or is there nothing we can do here?
It's really strange because the one that's plugged in isn't playing any sound.
Sick.
Yeah.
We should just go back to the QSC then. So we're getting one speaker right now? Join solo host. What's this button do? Alright, well, let's see here.
That's my next question.
Here, though, right? Check, check, check. That's between the two.
pages and stories of life, mingling with significant shared times. You gotta treat everything like a big little brother or big brother. Fall out. I believe this is like falling out. It could have been good marketing. You need to be conscious of making money, making fun, making eating adventures, making fish cookouts at a lookout, making spiritual fountainous rants and poetry, you know. They give a few good memories at the time, but it was always under pressure and some kind of weird shit.
Your OCO?
OCO, finalized.
Oh, vinylized.
Space down on First Avenue.
How friggin' loud is it when I go to talk? Yeah. How much is it going to juice me? How much should I come over? Like,
Do you guys?
How bad is it going to be trouble? Alright, cool. I'm not, I know, I just want to know how much of a shock I'm going to have to work with. How loud is it? You have a mic that's working.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
We got it.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a story you'll never tell.
Some might say they had it back in the day.
Yeah, you totally did. That's true. That's true. That's such real love. I appreciate it. Wow, you're a little ass. Yeah. Fall backwards on I can't believe you actually did that. See, the train didn't even you didn't tell?
How many got that?
We like scooped so far back. We were so freaking There was only like 400
I'm not going to test. No, we're going to prep round. Yeah, no, it's amateur hour.
Hey everybody, thank you for being here. I have no freaking idea exactly what to say, so bear with me. But it really does mean a lot to me, and I guarantee you the shot I see everyone that you here to celebrate life. It's a tough one. We're going to start off with our friend Amelia telling him I don't want to mess up the title of it here, but it's the Hebrew morning prayer, I believe.
So I'll lead you in the mourner's Kaddish. You can follow along in the papers we passed out, followed by a moment of silence, and then I'll sing a song. Forgive me, it's been a long time since I said this. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabah, v'alma divrach yurtei, v'yamlich mohutei b'chayechon, uvyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, be'agala uvizman karib yimru, amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevarach le'elam u'mei amaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit raman v'yit naseh. V'yit adar, v'yit alei, v'yit halal, shemei d'kudusha b'rechu le'ala. Min kol birchata, b'shirata, t'vishchata, v'nechmachta, d'miran, v'oman, yimru amen. Yehei shlam arava min shamaya, ve'achim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oyaseh shalom b'ramav, Uyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, himru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Jesus Christ. Don't go that way. Thursday night when we were sitting in Yishai's room, just kind of holding our own personal friend, Shiva, this book was sitting by his computer, and I just kept staring at it because I just was. So pretty much after everybody had left, except for a few of us, I finally just opened it. And
Closer into the mic.
okay. And so I found a passage that I thought was appropriate that I would like to read to everybody, if I can get through it. Has anyone supposed it lucky to be born? I hasten to inform him or her it is just as lucky to die, and I know it. I pass death with the dying and birth with the new-washed babe, and I am not contained between my hat and my boots. I peruse manifold objects, no two alike, and every one good. The earth good, and the stars good, and their adjunctments all good. I am not an earth nor an adjunct of the earth. I am the mate and companion of people, all just as immortal and fathomless as myself. They do not know how immortal, but I know. Every kind for itself and its own. For me, mine, male and female. For me, all that have been boys that have loved women. For me, the man that is proud and feels how it stings to be slighted. For me, the sweetheart and the old maid. For me, mothers and the mother of mothers. For me, lips that have smiled, eyes that have shed tears. For me, children and the begetter of children. Who needs to be afraid of the merge? Undrape. You were not guilty to me, nor stale nor discarded. I see through the broadcloth and denim whether or not. I am around, tenacious, inquisitive, tireless, and I can never be shaken away. I'm just going to tell a shy story until somebody wants to come and take this mic from me. Looks like Rob wants to take this mic.
You need to stand a little bit over here, away from the video screen, like
All right. I have so many stories with Yishai, and I don't know which one to pinpoint. I've been going over and over and over it several times. Some of them aren't appropriate, but I think there is a night where we were all going to a bridge party and I had to work, so I didn't get off until midnight. And so me being who I am decided, I'll just get dressed for the party at work and get on a bus down to Sodo in the middle of the night. Sounds like a great idea. So I do it and I get off at bus in Spokane, and it's honestly terrifying. I'm in fishnets and a rave outfit, and it's the middle of the night, and I'm skipping from lights to light, try to stay in the light and stay safe, and I just had to call Yishai, and I'm like, please save me. Please come save me. And Yishai is definitely the type of person that you could call and say, please come fucking save me. And he would come and save you. Would anyone else like to say or share anything? Oh, Jimbus.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi, everyone. Ah! Not in front of the screen. Shy Guy. We're fucking here for you. And look at this. This is incredible, buddy. He was 29. And he passed on his solar return the exact day. And I just find that information incredible. I'm not sure how to put it, but that's kind of what I got right now. I'm burning something in his pan here, his silver pan. And if anybody has any prayers or anything that they want to donate to him, just to send to him, please feel free to come burn in this pan whenever you feel like it. But for now, I don't have any shy stories over the microphone. But anybody that does, please come share anything that you would like to share with the world. Because he loved you, and he would want to hear it. And these people want to hear it. I am appreciative, as I hope you all are, of Shy Guy. Very much.
I got a song.
Wonderful. Thank you, babe.
All right, let's set this down, brother. Hi, Sia. Hello, friends. I want to share a song with y'all. This song is about family and unconditional love. This song is from Archie Cantrell of Puyallup Tribe, and it's a community song, and it's meant to be shared in community. Oh, oh, tsabichi chad, oh, oh, tsabichi chad, hey. Oh, oh, sabichi chad, oh, oh, sabichi chad, hey, hey. Oh, oh, sabichi chad, oh, oh, sabichi chad, hey, hey. Oh, oh, sabichi chad, oh, oh, sabichi chad, hey, hey. Oh, 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 sabichi chad, oh, oh, sabichi chad, hey, hey. Oh, oh, sabichi chan, oh, oh, sabichi chan, hey, hey. Oh, oh, sabichi chan, oh, oh, sabichi chan, hey, hey.
Back to me again.
Do I have to stand?
You don't. It's wireless right there.
Could, totally. Wow. Oh my god. Hi. I didn't want to stand. Star was awesome to me all the time. And, yeah. And he was totally reliable basically all the time, you know. Sometimes, you know, stuff happens and the timing that you intended gets off or whatever, but it always pulls through somehow and get shit done and fucking help you in a pinch and be there for you. So there's like so many more things to say. He like was smart and you know, you could have cool philosophical debates with each other. And yeah. Other things and stuff. But yeah. Yeah. Somebody else take it.
Whoa. I just wanted to say, I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.
Hello. Wow, that's really loud. I can't remember the first time I actually saw or met Yishai. He was around a lot of events that I went to, and he kind of became like a fixture, almost like a cartoon character that was reliably there. And I didn't really get a chance to get to know him very deeply until I worked as the sign lead one year at Cascadia. And he was helping me a lot because he was usually, before that year, he was in charge of putting the signs up. So he was with me quite a bit, just showing me where to put them. Very makeshiftly, just leaning them on things or nailing them to whatever, trying to make it work. He was good at making things work, with whatever you had. And I remember specifically when we were taking the signs down that year, we were just kind of reminiscing about life, and he was excited because he had a crush on someone new. And I was like, yeah, that's such a sweet feeling. And we just kind of looked at each other and looked really sweetly and yeah, it is a good feeling. And then I didn't really see him much after that because of the pandemic. And then he reached out to me. I think we had gone out on friend dates just to get some food. Didn't think it was anything more. And then he officially asked me out on a date July of 2020. And I thought that was really cool because I feel like people don't really ask people out officially on dates anymore. And he made a plan. He took me to the aquarium. And then he took me to his favorite Thai place after, and it was very low pressure, very respectful. Yeah, and then we parted ways, and then it was actually in this park a few months ago, there was some music that he was part of putting on. I was coming out, I was feeling all hot and frisky and ready, And I was coming out to meet someone else, actually, and I saw him there fiddling around with some music equipment. I've probably told this story to a few of you already. But I saw him fiddling around with the music equipment and looking kind of silly but focused. And I was like, oh, yeah, that guy. And this is where I feel grateful to have this experience of being in a healthy heart space and mind space, that I remembered, oh, yeah, this is the guy that treated me really respectfully and sweetly and stated his intentions. I'm going to go with him instead. So I went up to him as I was leaving, I hugged him and all that social thing, danced around. And then upon my exit of the dance space out here, I went up to him and gave him a really deep hug. And I was like, I'd like to hang out with you, sometime alone in your bedroom. Wink. So, just a lesson to everyone, it does pay off to be a good person and just... there's more, but I don't want to take up too much time.
Thank you. So I lived with Yishai briefly. Me and him go back a ways. And I kind of wanted to highlight sort of the light that he brought. These sorts of things are always kind of challenging to go through, but I believe that they can sort of be like a celebration of life, and I'd like to celebrate Yishai. So I was in this house that I was living in, and I had some really heavy shit that I needed to move, and I'm like, hey, Yishai, can you help me move these boxes around, He's like, I had never, he's always, I don't make any judgments about anyone's appearance or anything, but he'd always wear the baggy clothes and stuff, and I didn't, no assumptions, right? No assumptions. But he just in one movement, ripped his shirt off, and the dude is ripped. I had no clue. I was like, holy shit, dude. And he picks up this box that I can pick things up, right? But he picks up this box all by himself and just moves it around effortlessly, and I'm just like, god damn, all right, wow. Very able-bodied. I don't mean that in a physical sense. He was just very able, very willing. Very reliable in the sense that if you needed something, you could definitely count on him to be there and engage in that need with you. We kind of drew apart over the years. Life kind of has a tendency to do that, and that's something that kind of hurts right now. I think we all kind of when this sort of thing happens, it's sort of natural to feel oh, if only we had more time. And so that's something to kind of process and deal with. But one of the very respectable qualities that I found in Yishai was that profoundly intelligent individual, by far. And I, based on the way that I was raised, I came from a very bigoted religious background, and thusly had kind of a apprehension towards religion, but he had this way of describing things in a different perspective that gave me sort of a deep respect for people's beliefs and practices that I previously was a bit ignorant to. And so he opened my mind in that way, and in many other ways as well. He made a excellent meal for me once. It was a bison burger with goat cheese. He wouldn't eat real cheese as part of his beliefs, or cow's cheese, I guess. With a side of bloobs, which is what he called blueberries. Yeah, bison burger and bloobs. So I might have that in memory of him here, but So thank you for everyone who came out to this and created this space where we can kind of engage in this with each other. And it's like not easy to process death, and I'm not very good at it at all. I'm a rather stoic person when it comes to these kinds of things, but I do find a lot of value in celebrating the life of others. And death, I might not be so graceful in saying this, and so I apologize in advance, but death happens to all of us. And I think in most cases it never really happens when we want it to. And especially in this case, it was very abrupt. It wasn't a choice. There was no warning. Cars are fucking dangerous, y'all. Cars are really fucking dangerous. Drive safe. Definitely make space for the people that you love and care about. Because this kind of thing can happen, and then it's not like the best feeling to be sitting here wishing you had more time. So, but we're here to celebrate him, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So, thank you.
We never talked much, but he was my supervisor when I worked DPW at Cascadia. He was a good supervisor, and I remember one day I was working my shift, and I still had 30 minutes left, but there was nothing else to do. And he said, just take the rest of the time off. And I wanted to take him to the Oregon Country Fair. He wanted to go so he could see their recycling crew. No, really, he actually said that. And now I'll never have that chance. Who's next?
Well, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. A story about Yishai. Well, I really didn't get to know him well until we were preparing for the last Cascadia, and I was a part of the Mythica crew, and Yishai was one of our co-mayors. And as soon as I got to know him in the meetings that we had leading up and planning what we were going to do, I was immediately struck by his intelligence, by his compassion, and by his drive. I in retrospect think back on it, and I'm like, how did he manage to do both DPW and a co-mayorship of a camp at Cascadia at the same time? But that was who he was, and he, I think, did well in both those positions. The little memory that I have of him is him saying, well, when it's time for everyone to arrive on Thursday, I think it was on Thursday, when it's time for everyone to arrive, would you like me all to wear would you all like me to wear a suit? And we were kind of like, what? And he's like, no, I have a full suit and I will wear it. And I remember, people saying, well, it's going to be really hot, right? He's like, fuck it. I will wear this suit. And he did. And as people were coming in, he's just sitting there in full sun, full heat, July, 3-piece suit, buttoned up, just looking very dapper and stoic. And I think that was a really wonderful memory. I'd like to honor Yishai by reciting a poem that has come back to me now after having studied it when I was younger. And it's a, I think, very beautiful poem in this setting by Emily Dickinson. And it's called Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put aside my labor and my leisure too for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. Hold on a moment. Hello, Yishai. I think I'll just keep going here. Where was I? Okay, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. Its roof was scarcely visible, its cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were towards eternity.
Check. Hello. Thank you so much for that poem, and before that grounding story by Dustin. I don't know. So I know Yishai from back in like 2010 when he first moved here. You know, we had a lot of time like all those early festivals like photosynthesis and stuff, and always a bright soul on the dance floor. And I just admired the purity and just the unconditional love, you know, that came from this individual. And, you know, I've been gone for the past 4 years in Oakland and kind of just came back low-key home, and, you know, you were wondering who's going to show up when you touch back down, you know? Who are the friends that'll be there on moving day and those low points in your life. And surprisingly, he was one of those for me, you know? Moving out, into, you know, got all my stuff in a storage room, and he's there, you know, just lifting up, showing the abs that Dustin's talking about, you know what I mean? Just like handling it, and again, just being there, showing up when I had a show, performing, and just without question, just there, supporting, you know? We did a festival in August over at the Gorge, and he was there. I got to work with him and see what this individual was like, you know, when they're working, you know, which I may be a bit of a workaholic, but I find that you can really gaze into a person in the way that they perform, and, you know, his level of attention to detail and focus and passion is something that it's, you know, just some of the most admirable traits and things that I look for in close friends, and, you know what I mean, to hopefully inspire me to be a better man. And that's what I get being around Yishai, is, again, a sense of fire within me to evolve and elevate. And, you know, that's why I'm here, you know, to hopefully do that for those around me. And so thank you, Yishai, for being that gas to keep my fire going, to keep all of ours going, and for just showing up when others won't. So thank you. Turn it on with a switch right there.
On. Ooh, that's why we check. So thank you to all of the 200 some people that have come out in the middle of a pandemic to honor our friend, because he was much more important than any of this other stuff. I'm so sorry that we have to be here for this moment. My name is Denali. I met Yishai years ago, and I don't remember when I met him. He just appeared eventually over the times. But I really got to meet him in the last 2 years or so. We lived close in Seattle, and as you know, it's hard to get around. So if you live close, you're going to see them a lot. But everybody's got a story up here of times that he went the extra mile, and I just have another one of those. We were in Illinois after having just left Kenosha, Wisconsin under some trauma, and we stopped at a hotel and needed to get something. We were all done with the night, but we needed to get something out from a trailer, and it was so strapped down and nobody wanted to get it, and it was like deep buried, and of course Yishai was down for it. And so we were walking out of the hotel, and I was walking out with him, and there was he was wearing a shirt that said Antifa on the front. It had been screen printed in honor of the CHOP protests, and on the back it said domestic terrorist. And I was like, and we had just gotten away from like Kenosha, Wisconsin, a bunch of cops, and we were now in like Illinois police state, like red state. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, that joke's not so funny anymore, is it? And he's like, no, dude, I wish I had a new shirt. And I was like, okay, man, I do too. But yeah, and then we went out and we undid the trailer and got my backpack out of it and strapped it back down and went in, and Yishai was always there for us, and so I appreciate everybody being here for him. And for his family, they were the ones who requested this day, and we're certainly doing it right, and I'm certainly happy to show them how many people we have on this side. So thank you to everybody who's put this on, and to everybody for coming out, and thank you to Yishai for being so important to us that we would come here for him.
Check. So, unlike most of you, it seems, I do remember the day I met Shai. No shade. My friend hit me up on Facebook like 2 days before we were ready to leave for Shambhala. This was like, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago now. And she goes, hey, my friend just got a ticket. Is there any way that you could help us find a ride for him? And I was like, well, actually, we have an extra seat in the car. I mean, it'll be cramped, but fucking yeah, like link us up. Like I'll check it out. And he actually came over to our house. We had dinner, talked like just to get to know him a little bit, and ended up saying, fuck it, yeah, come on, like 2 days from now, bring all your shit over and we'll pack up the car. And so we mobbed out to Shambhala, and I got to spend a pretty, intimate festival weekend, or week, I guess, with Shai. And it was very eye-opening, because you don't meet a lot of people like Shai. You don't meet a lot of people who are just instant friends, people who can just break down those barriers and just immediately connect with someone. And that's something that I really respect about him. Yishai also, I gotta say, he's probably one of the smartest people I've ever met or will ever meet in my entire life, and that's inspired me in a lot of ways as well. After Shams, we still would meet up every once in a while, mostly at shows and festivals, just to catch up and see how each other were doing. And he was kind of a comfort for me when it was in a really bad part of my life. A lot of stuff was going on, and we would talk about his religion and my beliefs, and it was always a healthy discussion. It was never an argument or a debate. It was just sharing ways of thinking, I guess. And I'm horrible at memorizing things, so I have it on my phone. I want to read a excerpt from the Tao Te Ching, which he and I talked about a lot. It says, in thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. When leading, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. And with that, I'd like to say, check in on your friends. Make sure that you're talking to your loved ones. because you never know when is going to be the last time that you get to talk to somebody. So tell somebody you love them today.
Hello, hello. My name is Devin. I met Yishai, I think, in 2015. I was on tour coming up through the Northwest. It was one of my first times ever getting to play music out of my home state of California. And I had just continued to run into Yishai ever since. He was not a person that I always saw super often, but when we did, it was great. He was always just very present, interesting to talk to, and he was always a big supporter of everything that I did. And I have learned that those kinds of people are, it's important to cherish them. When I got the news of his death, it was hard, and I was going to go out and meet up with some friends for support and just to talk. And I sat down in my studio and I picked up my guitar and I just kind of started playing a few things, and I felt the song just wanting to come out. And so I sat for about 2 days working through it in between, bouts of sobbing. And I got about halfway through it before I couldn't keep going. But rather than maybe keeping to talk, I'd like to play that for you. So Trevor's going to put that on now.
Is not vulnerable to time or changes in form. Only when your mind will be quiet enough, when your heart give you the reassurance that you seek, that the essence of the love is still very much with you.
Hello? Cool. Hey, so I met Yishai in CHOP. He was super supportive over Riot Kitchen, which I started. He was also on the Caravan from Hell that we went on, and that was like a whole thing. So basically, I have a question, and I never got to know the answer to this. And last summer, Yishai had messaged me and said he wanted to hang out and smoked some weed with me, and he said he was going to try as humanly possible to make me, try as hard as humanly possible to make me laugh. So I am now wondering, what would he have done to try to make me laugh? So I feel like you guys probably know him a lot better than I ever got the chance to. And I just want to know if you guys have any ideas of like how he would have made me laugh. My name is Mayhem, and I will be here for a minute. So if anybody wants to come up to me with any ideas of like what Goofy Shy would have done if we ever got that chance to hang out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm really sad that we have to be here like this, but yeah, Shy was wonderful, and I'm glad that I got to know him as much as I did, and I just wish it was a little bit more, but yeah. No, it's still on, so just like stay over here.
Hello. So Yishai was one of the few presences that I would see out and I would just feel like so at ease. One of like the least threatening guys I've ever met in my life. Just very open to hold challenging dialogue, to hold space for people with opposing or opposing opinions, and to be willing to involve himself in things that he didn't necessarily agree with. And I always had so much respect for him for this exact reason. And I find that a lot of people now are more kind of like, well, if this doesn't agree with me, then I'm just going to shut it off, shut it down, you know, not part of my tribe, whatever. And Yishai was just one of those people that had the fucking cojones to be like, well, I'm actually going to talk to you about this, and we're going to see where we can meet in the middle. And that's something that I always held very near and dear to my heart about him. And I also feel like he was one of those presences in our community that is very much so appreciated and very much so like gentle and kind and very perceptive of everything happening around him. And I just feel like he's one of those brilliant minds and hearts that you just don't find that combination very often these days. And so it's a huge weight to say goodbye. And we all will miss you dearly, Yishai.
Check. Hello. So I've known Shai for 8 or 9 years now. I lived with him briefly. I could probably tell you a bunch of really sweet personal stories, but I'm not going to do any of that. Did you know Shai was a meme briefly? Apparently Freak Night, 2014, 2013, something like that, there was a photo of him at the main stage against the front rail with his jaw just on the floor, huge pupils. And there was an image, that image was going around Reddit, and the format was blank, some raving activity. So easy, even a caveman can do it. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
I was lucky to be Shai's friend. Very lucky. We met at Seattle University. Within the first week, everyone on campus knew who Shai was. He was definitely a fixture. He was the first person to raise his hand. Anytime anybody asked for a volunteer. He picked me out on one end of a pedestrian bridge sometime in those first 2 weeks and asked if I wanted to go for a walk and smoke. I said yes. Well, at first he actually asked if I wanted to apply chapstick. And I said, what are you saying? And he said, do you want to apply chapstick? And I said, okay, that sounds great. And it didn't kick off on an immediate type friendship. We weren't attached at the hip from the beginning, but that was a prologue to many walks we would take over the next couple of years. Exploring the neighborhoods, parking garages, alleyways, hidden staircases, finding all the best spots. And we bonded over long conversations, esoteric conversations, philosophical conversations, spiritual conversations. He always had stimulating questions to ask and something to offer that you'd never heard before. One of those nights in the parking garage, we made plans to move in together our junior year. It was 2012. We found some people who were going to move in with us. But we didn't have anywhere to stay for the summer, so Yishai came down and moved in with me in Southern Washington. We went back to my family home for the summer. We got really close. He enamored himself with my family, my high school friends, and we bonded on long car rides back and forth from Seattle, visiting people, having fun. Junior year was crazy. That was the year he became a meme at Freak Night. It was the year we met many of the first people who are in this crowd today who aren't really our Seattle University connections. It was like the first year of the creation of this community, this beautiful community that's here today for him. A lot of funny stories that year. I remember specifically at one of our crazy parties, he was heating up coals for the hookah, and the hookah was set up on the top floor. And he comes running up this very narrow staircase, which is packed with people, yelling, "Hot coals! Hot coals! Hot coals!" And then quickly down back stairs to do something else that was, of course, just serving the ambiance. He was always working the scene, just making things happen. He always had that mood of service. Living together for a long period of time and getting really close created some friction in our relationship, and we grew kind of apart. But I think it was also time for us to keep exploring ourselves, and our paths were just diverging a little bit. It was getting late in school, and we were focusing more on our separate studies. And we moved out of the house. But we continued to stay close. We sang in the choir together and continued to see each other for our conversations and our walks. As soon as I graduated, I moved away for a while from the West Coast to the East Coast. But he was the first person I saw when I came back. And he was one of the only people I would still come back to Seattle to see. And he would still come visit me and my family. I was arrested in 2018, and when I got out, he was the first person who came to see me. He was always showing up. It's crazy to think just a few months ago, we were having one of our last conversations online, just kind of making plans and ideas. He was going to move to San Francisco. We were hoping that soon things would calm down enough that we'd find time to see each other. And just a couple weeks ago, I got mail to my house in his name. And we contacted him and let him know. And he was super excited about his move and about all the things that were happening in his future. And just a couple weeks ago, he posted, saying that he was wondering, when is my next chapter really going to begin? When am I going to get my shot? And I wish he could see all the people coming together for him right now, because he'd know that it was there. It was right around the corner. And that also, he'd already freaking made it. People dream of having people come together like this in their passing, People dream of touching this many people. Shai did it. He was 29. We love you, Shai.
So this one's gonna be a little bit different. I had known Shai for years, but I had lived down the street from him for the past 8 months or so, and I actually got to know him really well, and I wasn't really expecting that. And I'd see him a couple times a week, and I was really happy that that ended up happening. And it was kind of neat because I wasn't raised religious, but I know my family's involvement in like paganism going back to like the fall of Rome, and I've done a lot of research into all this stuff, and I really appreciated how outspoken he was about Judaism. And there's this one very strange story I read while doing research into my own family history, which was that the first time money was ever printed on a dollar or on paper was when they printed the dollar, and it was in Thallerberg, Germany, Thaler to dollar. And there was a print on the paper that was a reference to a part of the Bible where there was like a curse on Jews. And the resolving of that curse was like a picture of a snake going around a cross. And the idea was that once a Jew ever saw that image, they were like relinquished from this ancient curse. And I just came across this recently, and I just thought about Shai and how outspoken he was about Judaism, yet so respectful of other people. I hit him up like last Friday night just to like tell him that I had something I wanted to tell him, just like tell him this thing and just be like, hey, I don't know how much you guys think or value that sort of thing, but I just, you're a really great guy, and like this is just something that crossed my mind. I want to draw you this picture and just say, hey, this is something you can tell all your other Jewish friends, that this is just like a strange thing, just because I wanted to like give this to him because I really respected his faith and everything. And I called him. I was just like, hey, I'm just in your neighborhood. Can I stop by and just like, I just have a picture I want to draw you? And he was like, no. I'm going to this party in Montana right now. And I remember thinking over the weekend, I was just like, man, I really wish I could have given that to him, because it just like would have been like this gift of like solidarity between people of different faiths. And I literally spent all weekend wishing that I was like, man, I wish I could have met him right beforehand, because that would have been a gift for him. But I guess there's just like a lot of other people with his faith around here. And just so you know, if you look up the picture of the original dollar, then that's supposedly the end for your involvement and all that. So I just kind of wanted to give that to people who have that, because that was my last gift to him, that I was supposed to see him this weekend, and he was just like, that's fucking weird. So I don't know, like it's a little bit different. He was the hardest working guy, everyone knows that. But I just wanted to say that was like this thing that I wanted to give him, and it was like right before the last time I saw him. Or I was supposed to see him, and I just wanted to like give that to you guys if that's something that you would have cared about, because I feel like that's something that in his own faith that's probably something he would have at least told the story about. It's like, hey, that weirdo. Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, that was just the last thing, because it was the last thing I wanted to say to him. I called him up, and since I missed him, I just wanted to tell you guys that that's something. He was a great guy. I was really happy I got to know him really well these past couple months, and it's really nice to know that everybody else saw the same things in him. So thanks.
So Yishai was like a homie, and he's one of the first people I met when I moved to Washington. And so over the time that I got to know him, we came to understand that we both liked really loud sound. And every now and then he'd hit me up and be like, yo, you want to come play on some speakers? And we'd go out into the woods every now and then and just play music. Sometimes there'd be a lot of people, sometimes there'd be a little people. And I remember one time we had music playing for a couple days, and we left the site and had some people watching the sound, and we hiked out to this like waterfall, and we were definitely having a harder time than we probably should have, because things weren't necessarily super things weren't necessarily super clear for us while we were looking with our feet, so to speak. But we were walking out to this waterfall, and like eventually like I slip and like hit my knee on something, and like I'm having like a rough time. And it's taken me forever to get to the end of the waterfall, but we get there, and like, mind you, the water is like super duper cold. And we sit and we like, take in like the beauty of the waterfall and stuff. And it's starting to get dark, so everybody else that hiked up with us is trying to hurry up and get back to camp. And mind you, my knee's pretty bummed out right now, and it's gonna take me a minute. And Yishai was like, "Oh, dude, don't even worry about it, man. We'll make it back when we make it back." And so I'm like trying to like stay on the side of this like fucking river on the way back from the waterfall, and it's like a full-blown river with like a current and shit like that. There's like logs and stones in the water, and Yishai stops and like, instead of like trying to walk on the side with me, Yishai like wades through this fucking river the whole way back until we made it to camp. And and we stood out there that night in the woods, and by this time like everybody else had already like packed up and left, and we're playing sound still, just us two, and eventually like a sheriff rolls out, and he's kind of like, "Hey, cut the music," and Yishai's sitting down by the fire smoking a spliff and never gets up, barely acknowledges him. And he's just like, "Yep." And it was just great like watching how calm he could be in like different situations. And he always like, he was like, there's a time and place for everything, man. Sometimes you just gotta know when. And dude, we just like stood out there that night and like yelled at the fucking like dark and like at the stars and just danced around. And yeah, man, I'm really gonna miss seeing that guy out like dancing, and just because he used to like fucking move, and he got down, man. And I'm sure he really appreciates everybody out here that clearly loved him very much. I only knew him for a few years, but I'm like really thankful to get to know him in any capacity at all. I feel really blessed. And that's all I wanted to say.
I don't know if is there anybody else? You want to go for it, my dude.
There's one thing I really wanted to ask him, because he brought up some genre of music, and he was really fucking stoked about it. And it was a while ago, because it was over at Rebar during a D&B Tuesday. But I'm killing myself because it was like wave, maybe 8-bit bass something, and that's fucking bullshit of a description. I could be way off. But if anybody has any clue what he was real stoked on, please tell me what the hell that genre is, because I've been meaning to get some of those tunes. It was the wave lo-fi? No. It was something. It was something really cool. But he's a solid dude, and he was that warm, loving person who you could always just look over at and, be happy to see everywhere. And I mean, he was just a stand-up dude. One example was that show over in August that happened that we were both working on. I had to put away the DJ gear, and I guess I was looking pretty ridiculous when I was stacking these cases up inside the fucking RV bathroom. But I thought that was a safe place. I could close the door. It was locked away, and I was sleeping right next to it. So I was cool with it. But I guess blocking the bathroom isn't chill. So, so he gave me his keys and had me put all the shit inside his car, and insisted on this shit. So that was solid. And I mean, there's so many other stories of him being a solid dude, but there's one. And if you remember that music, please tell me.
I'm going to try to tell the story as best as I can. There's a few memories to rack through to try to tell it all. At Imagine Festival every year, there's Imagine, whatever. I'm sorry, my mind is very combobulated. But there's a little footbridge you got to walk through to go to the nighttime stage. They close the music off at like 10, and everybody has to go down the path and across this little bridge to go to most of the activities that are taking place at Imagine in the evening. And we had a group of friends that some of which lived on Orcas and gave a lot to that festival and we didn't see very often, that we'd go see every year, and we would troll the bridge on Saturday night, and we would honestly heckle the shit out of you when you try to come across it. We'd ask you for gold, shekels, a riddle. One year we asked for shanty tears. I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite memories is the lady that was really offended by that. But over the years, it became less confusion and more, oh, it's the fucking trolls. Like, oh, okay, and they're ready for our shtick, and there was just so many interactions that came from that were really fun, because we're all a bunch of, we're not, we're jokesters, we're pranksters, and I don't know, you had to joke your way through our bridge. It was fun, and it meant a lot. One year we went to bed kind of tired and haggard, and I get up the next morning and Shai's still awake, and he's got his notebook out, and he's got, I don't know, 30, I don't know how many, a ton of signatures of people for the right of the trolls to troll the bridge at Imagine. Oh, Jim says it's over 200. I had no idea it was that fucking big. That's, wow. That's news to me. Thank you, Jim. Darren, the organizer of the festival, signed it. And considering how, people didn't know how to take it and would have weird reactions to it, that was like the seal of approval. Like, oh, we're gonna troll that bridge every goddamn year. But there's a couple things I want to tell you about regarding that bridge that happened that were really funny. One, this gentleman that worked at another job, Shai worked DPW at Cascadia, as a lot of you know. There's another gentleman in a position there who came through our bridge and didn't get the humor in it. And he was like trying to flex on Shai, like, oh, I'm going to talk to Manahan or like the Imagine people or some sort of, he was trying to flex, like, oh, I'm going to get you in trouble. You're wrong. This isn't okay. Shai never reacted. He would just calmly like let him wind himself out, and he'd be like, do you have any gold? Do you have any gold? And he would just get into it again and just start going off and wind himself out. Do you have any gold? I just deadpan. I did not know he was such a savage until that moment. I literally watched this kid level up his whole joke game fucking trolling because he was so good at it. Like, he wasn't the person that started the trolling, but he's the head troll because he owned it. It was his. We're going to be some very somber trolls, but please come across our bridge next year. We'll troll you anyway. We'll be there. But the reason I give you all this context is I want to tell you, I don't know, it is what it is. I'm going to tell you this story. One year we got trolled back. And so Shai, I don't know, we could tell there was something going on. These people came down, and they're just starting to be a bit of a gathering above the bridge, and they're all kind of watching. And we didn't know what was going on, but we could tell something was going on. And this lady comes down, and she's like waving something on a string. Shai goes up to her, he's waving something on a string in his face. And he's like, if that's not currency, or it's not currency if I can't eat it. And she just put it right in his mouth. And he didn't know what it was, and all of those people just poof, across the bridge, gone. Like, they knew what they friggin' did, and they did it, so they were gone. And Shai takes the thing out of his mouth, and I'm not kidding, it's a tampon that was something red on it. Oh yeah. He said, I think it tasted like ketchup. I don't know, and I'm gonna leave that up to your imagination, honestly, because I don't want to tell you. But anyway, the next morning, I get up and I go to the bathroom, and I'm walking down the trail, and where all the trails kind of out where we're camped kind of reconvene on a tree, there's a sign that someone hung to the tree, said, resist the trolls, and in the middle there's another fucking bloody red tampon. And on the bottom it said hashtag Boombaclot. For those of you that know Boombaclot, you're in on the joke, and if you don't, consult your neighbor or look on Urban Dictionary or something. I don't know what to tell you, but figure it out. Who's next?
Sorry, this is actually the perfect story to tell after the Boombaclot story. Man, I'm glad Yishai was like so trustworthy and caring and everything, because he also had some like liability sometimes, you know, with how he'd say things. And the story I'll forever retell about Yishai is, I think it was at Base Coast. I wasn't actually present for it, but I heard about it. And he got in this argument with Sam Binga, if you know who that is, about like how rap is way more relevant than grime. And like he almost was in like a physical altercation with Sam Binga, and I just thought that was hilarious, and I'm forever gonna tell that story about Yishai. But man, Yishai was such a dear homie. I think I met him at the first event we ever threw, and yeah, just that instant friendship and first person to volunteer to do everything or anything. And he was just, there's no judgment for anyone with Shai. He was there to help everyone all the time. I feel like he was constantly just taking care of all the homies. I'm just going to miss him dearly. And yeah, we love you, Shai.
I met Shai 5 years ago when I first moved here to Seattle. He was good friends with one of my roommates, and even after they moved out, he was still a fixture around our house, and I spent countless nights on my couch. A lot of the stories that we have would be potentially inappropriate, and I don't want to go on for too long, but I'll just end with the last time I saw him ended the way that I'm sure it did for a lot of you all, with a really deep, long hug and an I love you.
My name is Aliko, and I met Shai in 2018, and he brought the sound system for my first ever event before Expansion Festival. That's what me and Shoshana produce. Yishai and I were both Jewish, and so we always, all the Jews, if you know, we have this familial, like, you're here, I see you vibe. And have such a deeper gratitude for Yishai. Now that he's passed, like we have, I don't know, 4.5 years later, we have a full-blown production company doing festivals and events, and I'm just really grateful. You know, he showed up. He was like, it was like a pretty free event, and he was like, "Yeah, let's just do this." And I saw him 3 weeks ago at my friend's house, and he was like, "Hey," and he was going off about how his car had just gotten towed, and how he's like standing up to the people and calling them out that like your signs need to be up higher, and he was like, "I'm not gonna take their shit," and I just really appreciated that. I also remember in Imagine Festival one year they were giving gold out, and I was like scared of the trolls, not gonna lie. And I remember like holding on to this piece of gold, like I'm gonna need this to cross this bridge to get back to my campsite. And but he sometimes would give me a pass because we're just like Jewish brothers. 3 weeks ago, he told me something. I don't know why it came up, but with all the like abortion stuff going on right now, like it just, I felt like this landing of a merit within Yishai. He's like, yeah, I have a vasectomy, like totally, yeah, we should all be doing it. Like that's the way to go. And I just remember, I thought about it after that like 3 weeks ago. The goodness of how to take care of people, and he really did it in bigger ways than a lot of us. So just wanted to share that wisdom and pass it along.
So my name is Rob Miller. I didn't spend enough time with Yishai, but every single time that I talked to him, he always had a criticism for me on like a show or a venue or something, or an artist that I was booking, and we always had just wholesome conversations constantly about these things. And he just, got problem with the camera, sorry. He was the most supportive person I think I've ever met in this scene. He was everywhere, all the time, and he always supported me. No matter how much criticism he threw at me, he wanted us to succeed, and he really wanted to do events with us. And I'm sad that COVID happened because we were going to be bringing him on and whatever else. One of the last things I feel like he did was the morning of, he liked a post that I had shared about an event that we had a high dive that night, and that was just him. He just was constantly supportive of everybody. And I also am looking at the stream comments right now, and we have a few people that want to say something. So, from Alora, Shai was the kind of person who had great timing when it came to showing up at the right time when you needed him, but didn't know that's what you needed. We didn't have as close of a connection as I know so many others share, and although we didn't talk outside of shows, when we wouldn't run into each other while out and about, there was this all-knowing eye contact shared while crossing paths. He knew I had social anxiety and would provide a sense of comfort just existing and sharing space near him. I always made a point to give him a hug. He always had some of the best hugs. Thank you. And then from Monica. My name is Monica, and Yishai was one of my favorite people. We met years ago, not sure when, but we were friends, and then we were co-workers, and he helped me immensely with my music festival, so much so that he became a much-loved and essential member of the crew. Yishai helped until I didn't think he could possibly do anything more, and it turns out he was determined to be awake all 48 hours of the festival and then load out. As the owner, I didn't really want anyone doing shit on that little sleep, or doing shit on that little sleep, but I do admire the fringe determination to be a helpful, sleep-deprived site ops wizard. Beyond that, my fondest memory of Yishai will always or forever be from Base Coast 2019. I found him at an art installation, taking up the post as if he was made up for it, or if he was made for it. The installation was like a kissing booth with magnetic children's letters up top. At the moment, they'd been arranged to spell terrible advice. I shit you not, he was standing behind that booth for 10 plus hours and had no idea he was there. Someone asked him for investment advice. Hilariously, he told the guy to take all of his money and invest it in Dogecoin, a crypto that had never done well, and it was sure to spark negative returns forever. Turns out that this advice aged extremely well. And now I share with you a song that obviously can only be spoken by someone who isn't me, so it'll just be words. Okay. I grew up in a Unitarian Universalist, so we don't really have prayers the same way that Jews do. but my youth group had some bangers, so here's this. for my friend Yishai, my dear friend, dear friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me your treasures. I love you so. And that's it. Y'all have a great night.
Hey y'all. I don't even know when I met Yishai, but I worked with him at many events, and the story that really struck out to me was this one time at Cascadia when my team had just gone through a very difficult experience doing our work, and Shai happened to come over at the end of it and thank us for what we do and said, "Is there anything you need?" And I said, "We need to get stoned, period." And so he said, "Okay, we got you. And he left, comes back 20 minutes later with all of DPW in their carts, everything. I mean, like 20 people with all of the dabs you could ever want or need or not need. And I thought about it, and I'm like, if he could go the extra mile to do what someone else needed, he would. Like, he added that extra bit on top that wasn't always necessary, but maybe it was. That was just his style. And I kind of want to ask everybody here to remember that, like, remember that Shai style and go forward and, like, carry that spirit of his service into everything you do from this point on. Because he's not going to be here to do it anymore, and so really it's going to be up to all of us to fill in that gap. I want to lead everybody in like a poem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a line, and then I'm going to ask everybody to read the line back to everybody else. And at the end of this, I want us to send Shai out with a standing ovation. So when this is done, everybody stand up. You could stay seated if you need to. But cheer, clap, dance, cry, whatever you need to do. I just want to send a big group love out to him while we're all together in this moment. Into the freedom of wind and sunshine, we let you go. Into the dance of the stars and the planets, we let you go. Into the wind's breath and the hands of the star maker, we let you go. We love you, we miss you, we want you to be happy. Go safely, go dancing, go running home. And then bring it up. That ovation, friends. Let's do it. Whoa, yes. Shai, we love you. We love you so much.
Check. So, in lines with the faith that Shai and I share, some of you may have grabbed a Kriya ribbon. A Kriya ribbon is the black ribbon. If you didn't get one, there's more up here. But it is a physical expression of grief in the Jewish religion when someone passes. So what we usually do is we'll say a blessing, and you can go ahead and tear that ribbon as an expression of your grief. So choose to, choose not to. Either way, you know, we're celebrating Shai. So I'll go ahead and say the blessing, and you can tear that ribbon if you'd like. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam dayan ha'emet. Mine won't rip. There we go. Thank you.
So I just wanted to share one thing here because I realize there are so many people and it's really wonderful to see. I'm going to be coordinating a memorial candle effort with a representation of Yishai on it. I'd like to share that with as many people as possible. I made a post about it on the page. So if you have an interest in that, just respond to that and I'll do whatever I can to make sure that those get to whomever want them. So just look on the memorial page or on the page for this event and you'll see my post in there. My name is Nathaniel Peters and just let me know if you want one of those.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to thank Yishai for his service in our community. And I just wanted to say I love you, Yishai. You're going to be missed.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to say anything tonight, but I feel called to do that. My name is Trevor. Most of you might not know me. I met Yishai in 2015, and we were in Tenasket building a piece of property to throw a little festival. And Yishai showed up with a group of people, and I never met Yishai before. And they had to park down at the gate, so up comes this dude with this big-ass beard and this long-ass hair. And he's just like barefoot walking up this gravel road. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And he's like, y'all need help? I'm like, fuck yeah, we need help. And that was Yishai every time I saw him. Every time, without question, you know, like that was, he wanted to help. He wanted to build something, you know, he wanted to build a community and he wanted to do it from a place of love. You know, we talk about the service that he provided. It was love, you know, like love is service was Yishai's gift to us. Thank you, Yishai. That was his gift to us, you know, like it was unconditional. I never met someone with so much resilience, you know, like Yishai went through some shit, like consistently, but you could hardly ever tell, you know, like he just showed up. He would tell you what was going on, but he showed up all the time, you know, he never failed to speak his mind. And I respect that so much, dude. And in a time and place and where it's hard to find people that are like willing to just be raw and true with you, like no matter the consequences, like that was Yishai, man. And I respect that a lot. We butted heads quite frequently, as passionate people tend to do. But he always came back every time we saw each other. You know, he never shied away from me. No pun intended. He never shied away from me, and I respected that too. You know, like he would come up to me and we would talk, and we would talk about our beef. We would talk about the reason behind it, you know, and like what we'd get, like we talk about like the esoteric side of our problems, and like we'd get to the root of it and we'd solve it and we'd hug, you know. And I'm really glad I got to see him on the 18th and like fill each other in on where we were at and like what was going on, and you know, to have that like reconciliation again and to get to hug him one more time. And when I put this video together, I got to know Yishai on a deeper level than I could have ever imagined. You know, like looking at all the photos and like digging through his Facebook and, you know, having everyone send me pictures. It was crazy, dude. It broke me down multiple times in this place where like I was looking deep into his eyes and like really appreciating who this dude was. And I think that that's something that we could all take with us, is just like how real Yishai was, you know, like the amount of people that came out here tonight to celebrate him speaks measures to the quality of human being that he was, you know. So I think Dustin said earlier, like, we're all gonna die, you know, like act accordingly. Like hug your friends, dude. Tell your friends you love them. Take care of each other, you know. Like the world is fucking crazy right now. It's unprecedented, you know, all this stuff that's going on. So like check in on people, you know, be open with people. because we don't know when it's going to happen, and you don't get another chance when it does. So thank you guys so much for coming out here tonight. It really means a lot to everyone, Thank you.
Say something on that note. I just want to say something on that note too, because it's a lot of, I guess you could say, more negative emotions, right? Sadness, fear, anxiety, worry, right now for a lot of us. But as present as I try to be, especially right now, I find to tend to look towards the future. And immediately upon his death, I thought to myself, okay, well, what next? And looking towards this memorial, this whatever you want to call it, knowing that I would see people here that I had whatever, beef with or whatever, I found not fear but motivation from that. And almost thankful for like the sacrifice to, just the ripple, I guess, that comes from that, And so I hope that people will leave here, yes, we're grieving, but also hopefully inspired and motivated, and to, again, really seize the moment, not take for granted what's in front of us, because you don't know when it can suddenly be gone in the blink of an eye. And again, I'm just so thankful for everyone that took the time to come out here and be a part of this, for everyone that brought these beautiful props, the tech, so we could all try to do the best we could to, just send him out and just amplify his message of positivity. So again, thank you guys so much, and on to the next one. Go ahead.
Yishai was a beautiful soul, so I want to channel the thought for Yishai right now. For an Om. Om. We are everywhere. Yishai is here.
Hello, my name is Lorelai, and I got to know Shai a bit. I would have liked 2 more, but I was hearing this comment from Monica read aloud, and it struck to me. I grew up in the Unitarian Church with Monica, and so I know these words that she was sharing, and I think if she was here, she would have wanted to sing them to Shai and to sing them to all of you. So I'll just be her voice there. Dear friend, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me your treasures. I love you so. Dear friends, let me tell you how I feel. You have given me your treasures. I love you so.
Hi guys. I don't know a lot of you, and obviously we all share something really important. This is really hard for me to admit, but I at one point didn't want to continue to know Shai, and we had a falling out. And just this Monday was when we came back together and told each other we missed each other and how we needed to start seeing each other more often. And don't hold on to grudges, guys. It's not worth it. Life is too short and too fragile. And recycle. He wanted that.
Check. I would rather do it towards the end.
Two things I'd like to add. Check. Okay. Two things I'd like to add. In the obituary, the family had posted World Central Kitchen as a fundraiser. So I went ahead and posted a fundraising link to that in the event page. So if anyone would like to contribute to that, that's there. Also, one of the greatest ways we can honor Shai tonight is when we do eventually leave this place. Take at least 1 or 2 pieces of trash with you. And, just we need to keep the space cleaner than we found it.
I think we should all give him one more standing ovation. I guess it's also not necessarily my place to say this, but we are planning some more events in the future to honor his memory. So please just be on the lookout for that.
The Reno Gade. I really would love to play a song that we would always play. Every time we would bring in speakers out, it would be the last track that we would ever play on the system, no matter what. It was always the closing track, and I would just like to play that for him.
Turn the mixer out down. That's just all you and your Bluetooth on, right?
Miss you, buddy. Fucking miss you, buddy. I love every single one of you, and I know Yishai does too. So thank you so fucking much.
Because of this image that they have. Because that's what I'm trying to like get to the bottom of right now. Because I've been gone 4 years in another state. I'm a different human being, literally. Like when I came back, and my like mom, so I'm kind of like having these epiphanies, like, oh shit, like I don't actually fucking know you or whatever. Like it's like that's. But I'm spending these time and these conversations having to try and like get people to remember that I'm not that same little like college kid that was like leaving the DJ or whatever everywhere and shit like that. I'm like a fucking, like I said,
come back like professional and all that shit like that. And like I said, you know, sort of have that demeanor. So like I said, what I'm actually getting is a lot of like, well, thank you.
I believe in your radical change story. I don't even right now believe in it. I'm really surprised to look into it.
Thank you.
Or excited. But that's not true. I think comfortably, composedly, orchestrating these surprise to catch the fucking vision to then get and not just remind you like all the fucking animal kingdom. And then just be source. And know that you're affecting a lot of these people that are on the path.
That's
You need to fulfill your love statement on your
And a check.
But that's why I need to not be homeless. Like, that's good.
Hello, everybody. Karina just texted on the celebration little group thing, so I wanted to read this off for her. Yishai was an angel. I remember last weekend at 8 Park, he laid his head down on my shoulder, and we sat there for a long time.
I mean, that's essentially what I'm doing.
And it didn't feel strange at all. And I remember thinking this is the closest thing and most intimate thing I've ever been with a friend in my whole life without it being awkward. And it was in that moment I realized that we were closer than anyone ever been with anyone really in general. We were so connected that in that moment, as simple as it is, sounds... It was immensely meaningful. When people put their head on my shoulder, I always had this train of thought because it was an intimate act and I was awkward, but not with Shy. And then I remember he fixed my hair for my set and told me how pretty I looked and how incredibly sweet and kind it was. Everything reminds me of him because I realized that during the 12 hours on Orcas Island the weekend before last, we talked about everything I could possibly have to say off the top of our heads, and it felt so incredibly understood by him. I felt seen and accepted. I find it helpful to speak to the good memories. He was just so wonderful and kind and happy to everyone he met. I feel so honored and lucky to have known him. A bright star falling through time, falling through each of our lives like a bright comet, igniting a beautiful trail of light in our skies forever. Yishai, I love you. I will always love you. Thank you for loving and support me too. I'll miss you too much. That was from Karina. She's... Yeah. Yeah.
Relate your tiny bit, relate to your big composer too. And just, yeah, don't tap into all the cool stuff.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm just trying to fucking. I'm like already like motivated, know what the fuck to do, and all that kind of shit like that. It's not really been a pressure. The issue has just been, I hate to say, man, it's just always been like, you know, I've just been one broke joke, fucking trying to fucking like make it in music feel like 10 years now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just fucking still trying to, you know, just getting to that spot where it was cool, and then like, you know what I'm saying? It's like has a work thing. It's just been like money and like financing and like that kind of backing and shit like that I always struggle with, especially in California. I'm by myself. I have more tribe here, so I think it might be a lot different.
Check. Yo, so we're doing a poll on. I'll figure out how best to send it out so everybody can help pick out the best day to do a celebration of Yishai over at Substation. But we got a bunch of different dates we could pick out of. So my name's Keanu. Go ahead and if you're looking for that link, just hit me up on Facebook. And then we can try to get the most people out as possible for that. I'll put something cool together. I was thinking maybe doing like a little donation thing, and then that could either go to the family, or it sounds like they've got some sort of fundraiser thing they're doing too, so that might be a good place to have that go to as a suggested donation for that. But any ideas, let's all come together and do something cool for him.
How's it going? My name's Robert. Just a quick thing. Yishai was one of the best people I ever knew. Knowing him for only a short couple of years, I grew to know this man very well, and seeing him out at any party that I ever went to, just seeing him, even if I didn't know anybody there, it just helped, just because I at least knew him, and he was able to ground me at a party, even though I didn't know anybody. And I really hope that that was the same thing for a lot of you, that whenever you went to a party and you saw him, even if you didn't know anybody, that he was there to help you.
And also one more thing. The last time I saw Yishai was this last this last weekend at APOG. What a beautiful festival to actually get to connect with him and hang out with him. But the point of the story is that he came up to me one night and knew that I did not bring a headlamp in a very dark forest where I was doing directions with his and he gave me this headlamp that he found on the ground. I'm using it tonight. So thank you, Yishai.
got a man now. 'Cause I've been fucking fans now. Still I take care of you. Hey, yeah.